Hey, guess what I painted? You're about to see. And it's so exciting. It's my new thing, okay? And I know I move past my things fast, but what do you want me to do, I was looking for here's how this started, okay? I was looking for frames to do that trend where people do just they get frames like this, like craft frames. These are resin, it said, and look at how tiny and cute these are. And these aren't the ones I originally got, but then I found these and I was like, "Oh, I need those too." Anyways, and I just wanted pictures of like actual pictures for my fridge, but put them in frames and make them into magnets. And so I did that and I loved them and I was like, "I need to do this with my art." And now I'll never stop. And this is all I'll be doing for the rest of my days. That's a lie until I get bored and I move on to the next. But okay. I'm trying to show you that one with a little bow. And here I go. Here's the strategy. Would you like to know what it is? I'll tell you. Now, I already made some before this of little ghosties on some bigger ones, but these are obviously way tinier, which I'll do a video on the ghosty ones too. I just am excited about these and I want to do this. I don't know. I couldn't decide. I was like, which one do I do the voiceover for first? I don't know. So I'm using watercolor paper. I'm tracing the shape and then, but I learned that I got to go over the line, obviously. That wasn't obvious to me at first because you can still see a gap even if you if you trace it exactly. So I am just doing a little watercolor background, but I am going over that line a little bit, but it doesn't matter if it's messy because it's going to be hidden. But I test it too as I'm drawing to make sure it's what I want is showing and what I don't want isn't showing. And I'm just I'm just doing my thing. I sure am. And the whole thing with these from the beginning, I was like, what do I do with the back? It has no back. What did they expect me to do with this? What am I supposed to do? What are we even supposed to do with this? I don't know. Well, I made it up. You'll just have to see. And it's working out. Here I am cutting circles and having a great time. And I try not to waste paper, but sometimes I do. But I keep the scraps to journal with. And yeah, that's so true. That's so true. I'm doing mostly green backgrounds and some blue because the first one I tried, I loved the colors that I did and I loved how it looked, so I just kept going with it. I'm using oil pastels and color pencils. And that's here we go. Now we can see. And this is also trial and error, and I've gotten better as I've gone because it's really hard to use oil pastels with tiny paintings or try to do like really detailed stuff with oil pastels. I know you can, I mean, sometimes I scrape them off and then place it on there with a little pen thing. But you can kind of get them at an angle too, and just if you use the right you don't bear down too hard, then it's fine, And I also use a color pencil to define stuff, so I just put a blob down. I kind of outline the flower, then puts a little oil pastel, and then I go back with the color pencil. It's just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I'm kind of doing my abstract style with the blobs, and I love that. I added this gold pastel as well, and that really ties in the frames. I love doing that when I do the gold frames, whether it's these or actual frames. And now I'm gluing it. What I did was I glued the edge that wasn't painted, you know how I left that border kind of. I put it just right there and then attached it. It was seeping through a little bit, so I've since stopped doing that. But look how cute it is. I'm freaking out. I'm crying. I'm screaming. I'm throwing up. I'm not, but on the no, not on the inside. That's still gross. I also like to have the pencil line, but I erase it, and even if I erase it, it's still there because I'm using this pencil that's not supposed to be used for drawing. It's the cool pencils that everyone wanted but your mom never let you have them unless you were like the rich kids. But they always had them, They always had the good snacks, the like really unhealthy snacks like the Gushers and the fruit roll-ups, and they also had those pencils. I had a friend like that, and she was mean. But look at me now. I have this pencil. I bought it myself. I don't know when. It just appeared in this room at some point over the years that I've been here, been existing. What are we talking about? Also, I buy my own gushers and fruit roll-ups now, except no, I can't because I physically can't stop myself from eating the whole box. And that has not changed since I was little. It hasn't. That happened when I was little too, when I got access to fruit roll-ups at my friend's house. We ate the whole entire, like, jumbo box in one sitting. What is in those things? I don't want to know. It's crazy. Why are they so good? I could talk about them forever. I love them. Also, here's another one. We're not going to talk about that forever. We're going to move on. So, also, so what I started doing, have I done that yet? I just stick the paper to the back. It's a thick watercolor paper. And then I hold it down and I glue around the edges so it's kind of like Mod Podging to the frame, except it's this craft glue. And I like paint it on with a paintbrush. I hold it down until it's kind of stuck there somewhat. And then I use the magnet to further glue it down. And it's been working. And I put them all in my fridge for a few days and they did really well. And then I sadly had to take them down because I am going to sell them. And I realized I didn't even leave one for myself to keep. I need to make myself another one. I want one. I love this one. I love the orange and everything. Also, you can watch Lost with me in the background. It's almost over, and I'm really sad about it. I'm really sad. What am I going to rewatch next? I don't know. I don't want to move on from this. I don't want to move on. I'm still going. I sure am. I'm coloring away. I'm using the same color palette because sometimes I have to. It's not even my decision. It's what must be done. And I don't even know why. It's because I like it and I don't want to move. I don't want to change it. And here's where Jen came back, or they realized he was alive. And oh my gosh. Oh, I love him. I do. When he is running out on that boat and they are flying away and she is like crying after him to go get him, to help him, and they're like, we can't. Hey. That's the saddest thing I've ever seen, and I will cry every single time. And I will scream, why? You know? But it turns out he is alive, and that's very cool. When is the last time y'all sobbed over a book? It's been a while for me. And you know what? If you can get me to care that much, as an author, you're doing it right. Alright? It was a weird fantasy book, so bear with me. A duet with the Siren Duke by Elise Kova. It's in her series of every single one is. Wait, did I read that one? I didn't read A Dance with the Fey Prince, did I? Maybe I didn't care about it. I must have not liked the thing. What? I read the first one, and then there's one about a vampire. Or the first one's about an elf king. The second is a fey prince. The third is a vampire lord. The fourth is a mermaid. A merman? Sorry, what's that? What's that? And he is so the Little Mermaid. He's got a treasure room. It's precious. It is. I don't know why I didn't read the second one. Maybe I'll go back. But I don't remember loving the first one. I liked the vampire one, but this one, I don't know what it is. When I tell you I was wailing, that's the only word. Okay, that may be dramatic. I was screaming, crying. I was screaming, crying. Like, could not control myself. Okay? It was so sad. It was tragic, if you will. Just here's the thing, I was excited about this one because if there is a pirate setting, if there is something about the sea, I am there. Am I scared of the sea? Yes. Do I love when there's a fantasy setting set at the sea? Yes. Scary creatures in the sea? I'm there. I'm scared, but I'm there. I don't know. I love it, okay? She's a pirate. So that's fun. And he's a mermaid swimming in the sea. But guess what? When he goes on land, he has legs. We're gonna move on from that, okay? You're welcome, and I'm sorry. But this is my podcast. Sometimes we gotta talk about things that are going in my life, things that are going on in my life, and that's nothing except things that aren't real. There are children, people. Well, who was yelling outside? Are y'all okay? I'm just gluing these little frames. I'm gluing them. I have these magnets from a long time ago, and here's where mom insists I sniff this dog toy, and I knew this would happen. And Opie trips over my charger and knocks everything down. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna lose it. Thanks. See? But it's okay, it's not that big of a deal. It was in that singular moment. It's not, though. It's not that big a deal, it's fine. And here they are. Oh my goodness. See, I painted the backs of them black just to have a more cohesive look and to just seal them in one more time. I really like it. I think it's fun. And then I signed it with a white paint pen. And then I put my sticker on it. And I'm so excited to make more. And yeah, I put them all in my fridge and it's cute, but I'll post a picture on Instagram because I didn't put that here. But here they are. Here they are together. And thanks for coming along on this journey with me. Love you so much. Okay, bye.